Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Jordan here. Today we're going to be taking a detailed look at the LEGO Atari 2600. This set here has 2,532 pieces and perfectly represents the console that was released in 1980. Now Atari started releasing consoles in 1977 and the company was actually founded in 1972. And this set here actually commemorates the 50-year anniversary of Atari, so it's pretty special. It's got some crazy building techniques and components and stuff like that, and some really satisfying things that were really fun to put together as a Lego builder. And I'm going to show you all of that right now in this video. Let's get started. So of course, it's always going to start with the box, right? This is a beautiful box. The 18+ style packaging really does show off that awesome Lego set, which is the Atari. I love how they've added that dark orange color to the bottom there to match the vibe of the Atari. Once you crack it open, there's actually 16 building stages within. All those bags come pouring out along with your sticker sheets and also your instruction manual. And there is our vintage style instruction manual. I love what they've done here with this. You see the 50th anniversary logo right there for Atari. Video computer system. This just looks like a classic manual. You know what I mean? Obviously, I never had the opportunity of playing one of these or cracking one of these open, but just the vibe that we're getting from this instruction manual sort of almost represents that, right? So it goes over all the specs and details of the Atari, the history of it. Also, you can meet the designer and everything like that. And then of course you get started building and you can see what the building stages create right here. I probably should start with the system, but you know what? The first thing that we built was the game cartridges and also the container that holds the game cartridges. So I'm going to start with that because this was actually one of the most satisfying things of the build. When we were building it, I just kept going over, oh my gosh, this is so awesome, because this little container here perfectly stows away these cartridges, right? They fit perfectly in there. There's there's wiggle room, of course, because they move out, but no vertical wiggle room is what I'm trying to say. And they're just perfect in there. It is absolutely amazing. I love that. And the game cartridges themselves, there's 3 different ones. You get 3 games with your system. Now there is a lot of stickers on these. There's 4 stickers on each one. So you got a 2x6 tile there, a 1x6 tile, and then also a 6x6 tile. But this one is Asteroids, and it's clean, man. Like, this thing is put together really nicely. There's another sticker on the front there, and it just looks awesome. You got the green tile inside there. I'd imagine that's where you blow, right, to clean your game and insert it into the console. And these actually do fit into the console as well. So there's our first game, Asteroids. Our second game is Centipede. Well, we actually built this one last, but there it is. This one's a little bit different. You can see it's got the gray tiles going around and then also the 1x1 red tiles to match up with the large sticker element. One thing I forgot to mention on the other one, but you may as well see it here. See all the Lego representation on the game cartridges? It's all made of Lego pieces, right? Which is pretty cool. They all say use with joystick controller. And then once again, it says Centipede, same with that green thing inside there. And those just fit perfectly right back in there. And our last one is Adventure. So this one is pretty cool. It's got like the dragon and everything. Looks pretty awesome. And look, you got like the tree limb elements in Lego, right? Looks pretty cool. Now, in addition to these game cartridges, you also get the little mini builds to represent each game. So the first little mini game that you build is actually Adventure. It's like a physical representation of the game, which is pretty cool. Got the dragon there, a yellow castle. It looks pretty good. There's like a little hidden thing back here. I never played the game, so I'm not sure what that would be. And then there is a sticker element on the front here on a 1x6 tile. This set does use a combination of stickers and print, but all of the game details or cartridge details are done with stickers. Next up, we have Asteroids. It's got that blue and black color scheme, which I like. It really does pop nicely there. You've got your spaceship there, right, held up, and then all of your asteroids all around. Just built using different snot techniques, and they've got the antennas holding them up at different levels, which is pretty cool. Pretty basic build, but a nice representation of the game. My favorite of the 3 mini builds is definitely Centipede. Building this Centipede that can articulate was a lot of fun. Pretty basic build, just uses some of those brackets and some of these like horn elements there, and then some cheese slopes on top there. And it's got some mushrooms around the base of it and a brown base. And yeah, looks pretty good. I really like this one here. Do I think that they needed to create these? I don't know. I think they're just sort of like additions to the set that really didn't need to be here. They do add some nice color. I think this set doesn't have a whole lot of color, and this adds a nice pop of color to the set and sort of just gives us a visual of the games, maybe that, you know, of the art that you would see on those 6x6 stickers on the cartridge. So I think it does sort of add to the whole vibe of it. And I really love the cartridges themselves, also just the case that they go into. And the mini builds, I just sort of feel like are extras that didn't really need to be here, but I'm happy that we got them nonetheless. These are unreal though. I love them. And you know what another cool thing about the cartridges is they actually fit into the console. You can see the slot right there. First thing I want to say though is these are all print elements, okay? So those are all print. There's no sticker there, which is nice. But these just fit right in there. Once again, another really satisfying thing. That's so cool. I love that. That is just perfect. They fit in there. They've got a little bit of resistance. You can see the pieces that they lock into. Yeah, it's perfect. And once again, print elements, video computer system, TV type, power on off, and then over here we have game select and game reset. Now these switches, these ones are elasticized, so they'll spring back. And these ones can be switched on or off, just like the real console. So that is super satisfying, super cool. So this is the actual console. It looks really good. It uses the dark orange color and the reddish brown on the front of it. And obviously it's black. It is pretty much like a 1:1 scale of an Atari. So if you have an Atari, you know what it looks like. This thing looks identical to it. I love the way that these are all spaced out. All these tiles on top adds a nice texture to the console. It just looks perfect. Like, it's amazing. I really love like the angles and everything on the side too. If you pull this off the desk here, you can see just the way that curves and the way it's all angled and comes together and the way everything just locks into place. Like even this is at that slight angle. It is a really satisfying build from a system point of view. Not a whole lot of Technic in this set. There is a bit of Technic that allows this function to work right here. If you pull this forward, the retro gaming setting is going to pop out just like that. Oh, it's hard to do with one hand. Let's get tripoded up here and try that again with two hands. Just pull that forward and it's gonna pop up just like that there. So it's so cool. So I guess rather than having like the technical guts or electronics within the Atari, we're gonna have this retro scene that can pop up. And there's some Technic components in there that will allow this thing to pop up, and you can see it just sort of moves freely there and pops down. I didn't originally know what this system was gonna be when I looked at the box art, but I see it now and it's pretty cool. So this is a retro setting within the console. All sorts of throwback stuff to the 80s in here, okay? We've got the boom box, yeah, a cassette tape, don't see, or VHS, don't see those very often anymore. A couple action figures there and a little cabinet. I like the shag rug, which is like that olive green color, classic. We've got a dial phone, like what the heck is that thing? We haven't seen that in a long time. Then we've got a cat, a couple roller skates, a New Wave poster. It's gonna be like representation of a rock band. Then we have a poster that represents one of the games that, the game that he's actually playing on the TV there, which is Asteroids. And that right there is a sticker component. All the elements in here are sticker components, but that is Asteroids. And then right below that TV cabinet, which was a pretty fun build, same with like the old school TV, we have a little mini representation of an Atari, also 2 game cartridges, and you can see our minifigure right there. He's like, oh, he must have just won a map, right? He must have just won a level. I'll show you him in more detail in one second. Just want to show you these posters. So you got Asteroids, and then you also have Johnny Thunder, which is a representation of some of a character in the Lego sets from like the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. Unfortunately, I do not have any Johnny Thunder sets, nor a Johnny Thunder minifigure, so I can't show you any of those, but I'll pop one onto the screen right now so you can see it. Also, just below that poster there, we've got a can of pop. Let's have a look at this really cool minifig. So this minifigure is exclusive to the set. It comes with the Atari torso. He also has this short posable legs. You saw him sitting down at the beginning, and now he's standing up. He also comes with a little controller there, and this is like his OMG face right here. And then this is his, yes, I'm about to play some Atari face right here. So with this thing cracked open here, you can also see some of the crazy angles within and on the sides there, and that control panel at that really cool angle. Just a really satisfying build. And the way that this can just pop out is really neat. Around back of the console, you can see some of the inputs there. And then you can see a cable coming out that connects to our joystick. The joystick is definitely one of the most satisfying things that I've ever built with Lego. So this is it here. You can see it's pretty thick. There's lots of different building techniques within. It's wild. So many brackets and everything came together to create the unique shape of this joystick, and also the realism of it. It springs back into position. I wish you could reach out from the video there and play with this joystick, because there's like the perfect amount of resistance affiliated with it, it is fantastic. The only thing that I'd say is sort of a downer about it is this button doesn't push. But hey, that is like, this thing is a feat on its own. Like it is like saying that can't push is just sort of lame, because I mean, you can't expect that, but you can see all the rubber elements in there to make that happen. And this just goes right in there. But those rubber elements just give this thing the perfect amount of resistance and the ability for it to spring back into position. Also, all of these right here would be a nightmare if they were stickers, right? Good thing they're print. So just a huge plus for this set is the joystick. Very cool. So ultimately, in the end, what are my thoughts about this set? Well, it doesn't get any more real than this, folks. Like, this isn't a LEGO Atari. When you tell me LEGO Atari, this is what I envision. This thing is awesome. The cartridges, the mini builds, the case, the joystick, and the hidden bonus within. Like, that is so cool with the exclusive minifigure. That's cool. Would I recommend that you get this set? If you're a fan of Atari, yes. But I mean, if you're not, you know, if you weren't born during the age of when the Atari came out and you never played an Atari, then I don't see the need to get this set unless you're like somebody who's so in love with Lego and you want to learn how to build cool stuff. Then this is awesome, right? Like, this is pretty cool. But if you're somebody like doesn't even know what Atari is, you're born in the 2000s, you don't even know what this is or have never played it, then I just don't see this being appealing to you. And I don't know why you would, you know, want to get this set. Maybe if they made an N64, that sort of screams out to me. But once again, I'm one of those people who's never played an Atari, right? So if I wasn't sent the set by land, would I get it? Probably not, just based on that fact, is because I don't really have any attachment to Atari, right? But for people that do, this is like gold. This thing is awesome. So many good things. The joystick, the console, the cartridges, the mini builds, the case. I can't get over it. It was very satisfying. Everybody, thank you so much for coming on by. Let me know what you think of this set by commenting below. Remember, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff. Farewell.